Okay, so you join me at the start of the YouTube Vloggers Social. This is actually filmed at the end of the social. I just thought I'd better put a little message at the start of this video saying things get really chaotic with the amount of fish that I end up catching. I can't keep a rod on the water. I end up having to reel in cats, carp, everything. So there's loads of fish to see in this one. It's just probably going to be a bit chaotic because I had zero time with the camera. I haven't got any time to do any arty-farty shots as much as I try, like I do on my other videos, so hopefully you enjoy it. There's definitely a lot of fish to see and loads about the YouTube Vloggers Social, so hope you enjoy it. Alright, so you join me once again back out on the bank. This time I'm here at Coking Farm Fisheries near Dorset for the YouTube Vloggers Social. It's the first time I've been invited to the event. It's normally an annual event minus COVID last year, and it's a bit of a match but more of a bit of a social, few beers, meeting up with some fellow vloggers from YouTube. Quite a few of them you'll know, you might see them in this video. But so far it's been a bit of a nightmare for me. I came out second from last in the draw, 13th. I picked a peg in the corner of the long lake called, well, numbered peg 51. It's a little corner swim. I wasn't that keen when I first got in, but I've seen quite a few fish, and the nightmares continued for, unlucky for some, 13 out the hat, and I've already lost 4. I've had 4 takes and I've lost all 4, so I really don't know what's going on. It's barbless rules on here, but to lose 4 on the bounce on solid bags with a rig that I use all the time in my fishing, that I hardly ever lose a fish on, I'm not really sure what's going on. The first 2 I was playing with them. The first one I lost at the net cord. It was only a scraper double. The second one I lost halfway through the battle really, and the third and fourth ones ripped off. I saw it erupt over the spot because I'm fishing really shallow both times, and I picked into absolutely nothing. The silicone was blown back on the hook shank, just absolutely mugged off. So barbless walls, you're going to lose a few, but 4 on the bounce is just not on, so I'm going to have a little think this evening and try and work out what's going on. As I say, I'm fishing solid bags over some bait. It seems to be the way forward on here. The fish seem really active. There's been loads of fish out, several catfish out. I don't really know loads about the venue. I've never been here before. I hadn't even heard of it until I was booked onto this social, so hopefully we'll have a fish to show you this evening and I won't lose any more. I was hoping to start this video with a nice fish on the bank. I think they go mid-20s in here at the most, but I think they're mostly mid-doubles realistically in here, but the catfish go up to 60 odd pound I think in here as well, so fingers crossed we'll have plenty to show you. I've got 2 nights. This is Friday currently and we're leaving Sunday. I'm not sure how much fishing will actually get done over this social. As I say, it's very much is on the social aspect of size with plenty of beers, so really looking forward to it. Great to be back on the bank in front of the camera, and I'm looking forward to hopefully having a few fish on the bank to show you shortly. Alright, so at this point the night had been absolutely crazy. I hadn't slept, things really kicked off, and I'd messed up pressing the record button on my camera. So I'm talking for you after once I'm home. I started off the night with this 33-pound catfish, absolutely beasted me around the lake in the middle of the dark, avoiding my other rods luckily, followed by this tiny little scaly one. Nice looking fish, but a small one for the middle of the night. And then we had a run of quite nice mirrors, nice and plain fish that kept coming to the solid bad tactics throughout the night. Then we had this nice little scaly one just before dawn. things were starting to get a little lighter at this point, and then we ended up with this nice plain mirror just before light, and I finally remembered to sort the camera out and start pressing record. Alright, so here we go, number 7 of the night session, which is a bit mad. A nice little common. This one was just gave me the run around, got tangled through my other line, the last rod that was still out there. A nice little common, nice and clean. All the fish in here seem to be, so that's nice. Hopefully one of the bigger ones. I think the match is winning with biggest fish at the moment at about 26 pounds, I think, unless anything big has been out through the night. Apparently they do go to mid-30 in here, so see if we can get amongst one of those bigger ones. So we'll slip this one back, and I'm going to try and get some rods back out and then have some breakfast. Alright, so I slipped that fish back and got the rods all sorted. It took about an hour or so to get them all back out. Made myself some breakfast and a coffee. I was absolutely starving after being up all night, and then it was all looking really quiet. I hadn't really seen a lot, and then my middle rod to the open spot absolutely melted away. Got a nice little mirror again. Seem to be predominantly mirrors in here. The average size seems to be around that 14 pound mark, although they did say the average size was upper doubles, but you can't really always believe what you're told about lakes. So yeah, see if this one behave. They all been absolutely ripping around when I plan all of them, and they've all given me an absolute beating on the mat, as this one's going to as well. So yeah, I haven't weighed it. It's probably about 12, 13, something like that. Just keeps tensing. Just take your time when they're like this, no need to rush. There we go, a nice little one again. Still super lively. Got soaking. So yeah, I'll go through in detail about the rigs and bait and all that kind of stuff, the spots in a little while. Just going to get this fish back in a little while, and then I'll go about going through everything with you in detail. But let's see if she'll behave this time. Getting absolute soaking once again. There we go, nice little one. Still not seeing any of these bigger ones that are in here, but still plenty of time as long as we keep getting bites. Each time is a bite closer. I've just noticed this one's actually missing an eye. It's only got one eye. Slightly unusual on this side. Didn't notice that to start with. Right, well, we'll slip this one back, and we'll go through in detail about the rigs and all that with you in a little while. So I've just put that fish back, and I thought I'd just go into a bit of detail with you about the rig setup and bait and all that I'm using on this session down here. It's been working quite well. We've had 9 fish now, if you include the catfish. It started off a bit ropey. I lost a few fish, but still can't work out what was happening there, because I've used this rig all over the country really, and I've never lost fish really at all on it. I can't remember ever losing a fish using this rig. But so it's just a simple solid bag rig, nothing fancy at all. We've got some fluorocast from Ridge Runky mainline, like the fluorocarbon coated mainline, to help sink everything down, and we're fishing that naked. We've got a long tail rubber going over an inline lead just to a ring swivel inside, so it's not dropping the lead. There's absolutely nothing out here. All the islands and everything seem to be undercut. There's no need to really be dropping the lead every time if we don't need to. So the actual rig itself is a short 4-inch supple braid from Thinking Anglers. It's their supple braid. I really like that in my solid bags. Been using that for quite a while now, and that's figure of 8 loop knot onto the ring swivel just for speed of change. And then we go up to the main end, and we've got a size 6 wide gate barbless hook, and that is popped up using a little 12mm pineapple and embuteric pop-up. These pop-ups, I started with a different colour on each, and this rod just kept going, so I swapped all of them over onto this colour, the yellow, and they seem to be loving it. As the a lot of people around here seem to be using yellow pop-ups, and I've got little bits of corn in my mix, which I'll go into a bit of detail anyway in a little while. with you. And that is just a little bit of silicone just to hold the hair in place, and then we've got some shrink tube just to act as a little stopper to help that hook hold in a little better, being barbless rules on here. And that is just held down. It's a little BB shot, just holds these 12mm NutriBaits pop-ups perfectly just off the bottom, nice and subtle. So yeah, it's a really simple little rig setup. It's been doing the business recently. I mean, there's 8 fish in a row now without dropping one, and as I say, I've used this all over the place and never had any issues before, so I'm not really sure what was going on with those first 4 fish. They're all a bit weird, but there we go. So we'll just go into a bit of detail about the bait that we're using this session. We've got a bit mixed up in here already, but we'll just tell you what's inside of it. So it's a mix of bits and pieces in here from NutriBaits again, as part of their big fish mix range, which is salmon, caviar and black pepper, which is a new variant of their bait. I really like it, especially in the summer. It's a brilliant fish meal bait, an absolute classic bait in the making, I think. And in here we've just got some of their bag and stick mix poured in. We've got some of their pellets in the matching range poured in as well. And then we've also got some of the 12mm boilie in there as well. I wanted a small boilie because I'm fishing a small boilie on the hook, and also I wanted it to be a little bit different, and I didn't want too much big items out there. I wanted there's a lot of fish in here, I wanted them coming in, grubbing around, and the main item being my hook bait. So there's lots of ground bait, pellets and that kind of thing in here. We've also got some corn. You're allowed 1 can of corn a session here on this lake. It's their rule for some reason that you're only allowed 1 corn. So I've put a bit of corn in the mix for each time I've mixed it up. And so yeah, and to top it off, I've added some of the booster liquid from the same range. So it absolutely stinks, really fishy, a really unique smell. And I've just been spotting out. I started off putting about 10 spots out on each spot, which I'll go into showing you where I'm fishing in a little while. And then each time I've had a fish, I've just topped up. I started off topping up with 5 spots, and then through the night I was just putting 3 spots out, and I found my bite time was getting shorter when I was doing that. So whether it was just coincidence or whether it was making a difference, putting a little less in each time to get a quicker bite, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's the mix. Absolutely stinks. So yeah, we're gonna carry on. We've got another 24 hours really. I suppose it's now mid-morning. We've got to be off by mid-morning tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have a few more fish to show you. Weather tonight's going to kick off quite as much as last night, because that really was mad having those fish. Some people hate catfish, but I'm actually quite a big fan of them. I do quite like them every now and then. I wouldn't want to be catching them week in, week out, but the odd one now and then is good fun. So hopefully might have another big cat to show you in the daylight. That'd be good. And hopefully a few more carp, because this social is all about the biggest fish. We're not worried about the quantity of fish, so one of the bigger fish would be a lot nicer. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to carry on and I'll go through the spots with you and all that in a little while, or I'll catch you in a bit with another fish. Alright, so fish number 9, and this one's probably one of the smallest ones in the lake by the looks of it. Unlike Joe next door, who's just had an absolute belter, but you can't pick him, can you? But it's been really quiet my swim since I had that last fish. I haven't really seen a lot at all. A bit of bubbling by the island, and this time the margin rod is ripped away. It's a nice looking fish for the future, but currently just a little bit on the small side. It's definitely not gonna win me the biggest fish of the week weekend award. It might win me the smallest. There we go. How about that little one? One for the future. Spin it round, have a look at the other side. We won't keep it out for long because it's already starting to get absolutely baking here. It was really starting to swelter when the sun was out a little while ago. But I did try putting out some floaters, but nothing was interested. But maybe later on when it gets up in this corner, when the ripple goes, I might have a bit of luck, in which case I might try and do one on the bottom, one on a zig and one on a floater in the same day. So we'll see if they start taking floaters first. Right, so I'll slip that one back and I'll get the rods out and hopefully talk to you soon with another one. Alright, so I've just tied up one of these solid bags after slipping that fish back, and I just thought I'd show you what they are. They're nothing too fancy, they've been loads of my videos. It's just the rig that I showed you earlier, and then inside one of the ESP multi-bags I've just got some of the big fish mix, stick mix in the bottom. Then I use some 2mm pellets. These are the big fish mix ones again, just so everything's matching. And then I top it off with some more of the stick mix, and you end up with a nice bag like this. It makes it really easy to compress down, takes all the air out, it sinks like a brick, gets to the bottom before breaking open, which is really important in these hot summer months because the PVA will melt so quickly. Then once we get to this stage, what I've been doing is getting this booster liquid, which is the big fish mix. Super fishy, really stinks, lets off loads of attraction in the water, and it's also PVA friendly. So I just got one of these syringes, which is for deadbait fishing generally, for pike fishing, and I just soak up a little bit of the liquid, just punch it straight through the side of the bag, and then just squeeze in the liquid. And then you can see there it's distributing around the bag nicely. Just leave it for a second. You can rub any excess just on the outside of the bag. As you can see there, it's not melting it at all. And then you have one really nice, tightly compacted, highly attractive solid bag. So I'm going to get this one out there now and see if we can nick another bite. Alright, so that didn't take long. I was literally then talking to you about tying up solid bags. I then messed up the cast putting it out there, and I was then going to start tying up another one, and my middle hand rod was once away, melted off. Nice mirror, a little bit bigger than the last one. Brings us to 10 fish, 10 carp for the session, plus the cat. So yeah, they're a little bit bigger than the last one, as I say, but still no monster. Probably about 13, 14, something like that. I haven't weighed it. So came in fairly easy, so I'm expecting a bit of a fight, as they all seem to be doing here. Wait for it to stop tensing up, and then we'll give it a try. So lively in here. I don't know if it's the temperature or the fact there's several aerators running and the oxygen's getting back to normal. Not quite sure, but keep plenty of fresh lake water. Don't let it sit in your bucket in this temperature because it'll get so hot so quickly. So always refill it for every fresh fish. Still tensing up, but no, still tensing. There we go. Let's give you a quick look. It's a lively thing. We'll get it back as quickly as possible because although it's now a bit more overcast, it's still fairly warm today. So we don't want to keep them for too long. So yeah, it's looking promising. It went really quiet for a while, and then we've had two fish in quick succession, and it's starting to look a bit more promising. The wind's picked up into this corner. It's a bit more overcast. There we go. Typical kind of size for in here, from what we can see. Let's hope we come across one of those big ones before the end. Right, we'll slip this one back, and I've got two rods to get back out now. Alright, so I was just putting that fish back in, and as I was putting it in, the middle rod, the island rod, sorry, ripped away, and we've got a nice little moggy, probably 15, 20 pounds, somewhere like that. Nice looking fish, a lot paler than the one last night. And yeah, caught on a solid bag. Classic catfish tactics. Net's caught round its mouth. Let's see. Impossible things to hold. Slippery little fella. Look down its mouth. Oh. It's already leaving its mark all over me, shall we say? Look at that. Problem with catfish. Right, slip this one back and try and get some rods back in the water. Alright, so I went to put those rods back out and realised I'd run out of PVA tape, so I reeled in, gave them a good hit of bait over all the spots, and went to the shop just to get some more bits and pieces. Got back, got the rod out, one of them was away pretty much straight away. With a real savage liner. I picked into it, but there's nothing there, so I think I might have just hit a liner on that one. And then while I was redoing that one to get the rod back out, the other rod that was out ripped away, and it's another catfish, about 27 pound this time. Gave me a hell of a beating. I had to lock it up to try and stop it. It's quite impressive really what a size 6 wide gape can do. So we'll try and lift this this one up for you. What do you reckon? Another one. Another moggy. They're such a pain to hold, aren't they? Ooh. There we go. What do you reckon? Need one double the size, I reckon.
You weighed it?
27.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it doesn't look it, does it?
Yeah, nice.
It's smaller than the one last night, but... Alright, so just a quick little update. It's absolute carnage, can't keep a rod in the water. I was then putting that catfish back. Oh my. Alright, so sorry about that, it's all absolute carnage. I just put a rod back out literally before I picked this one out of the net, and it couldn't have been out there 2 minutes and it was away. Looked like an okay common, probably mid double, something like that. I had it on for a while, and literally as I was bringing it into the net, it hook pulled. So pesky barbless strikes again. But yeah, this one was just going to show you this one. It's a really nice looking little fish, small one again. The stamping size that I've got down in this corner seems to be really small. Guys to the right of me who've had quite a few fish mid doubles, whereas mine's just tiny in this corner. But you never know, keep getting through them. There's got to be some big ones out there. So. Whee. It's a lively one again. Right, let's try that again. There we go. Cool little scaly one. Sadly not the common that I lost afterwards, but there we go. We'll slip this one back and try and get some rods back in the water. Alright, so fish number 12, once again, one rod in the water, tying up the second rod, and the rod's away. So no rods in the water once again. I can't get more than one rod in at the moment, which is mad. This one's a slightly better one, a 17-pound mirror, and the fight was ridiculous. It came in really fairly easy, but then got in front of me and wouldn't come up. It didn't matter what pressure I'd put on him, he just wanted to stay deep for some reason, which it made it feel like a big fish, but I saw it early on, so I knew it wasn't. But if I hadn't have seen it, I would have thought I'd had one of the really big ones on, for the way it was staying deep. But yeah, 17 pound, the biggest one of the session for me so far. Not the biggest one caught by the boys, but there we go. 17 pound, just over. A few nice scales on it. They're fairly pale in here. The water is really murky. It's a clay pit, so they're not going to darken up this time of year and something like that. So spin it round. My arms are starting to hurt though from all this. I'm not used to playing this many fish, and the 3 cats have beasted me as well. I've really had to lock down on them to stop them. And then this one, weirdly as I say, just would not come up. There we go. Number 12, as I say, of the session, Still got the evening to go. It's about 2 o'clock now. I've got no rigs tied up once again, no rods in the water. We're reeling in at 5 o'clock to meet the other boys again, have a few beers and a pizza all together, have a bit of a social over the other side. So whether I get the rods back bang on again tonight depends on how many beers we have later on. So I'm going to slip this one back, try and get some rods out and see if we can nick another one before I reel in and go around the other side. There we go. Cracking looking fish. Wouldn't mind a few more like that, only a little bit bigger tonight. But as I say, I'm going to go for the social now. Still time for another one, I suppose, or a couple, you never know if I'm being greedy. If they're small, I probably won't bother sharing them to you, I'll just tell you about them later. And I'll try and get some footage of us when we're having the social later. So I think there's a few games and messing about and pizza and a few beers, so really looking forward to that. So I'm going to slip this one back and sort my stuff out, and I'll catch you back in a little while for a big one. If not, I'll see you later on this evening. had just gone dark and we've just got back round from the other side of the lake where we'd reeled it and had some pizza and a few beers and that. A bit of a catch up and a couple of mess around games. I've just flicked out the first 2 rods onto the spots. I put a load of bait in before I went round to have my pizza and catch up with everyone. Just gave them quite a lot of bait, thinking it might hold them in the area. And I've literally got 2 rods out and both of them have gone before I've even got the 3rd rod ready. And I really cannot be doing with it for a whole another night because I didn't get a single bit of sleep last night. So I've been awake now for about 36 hours or something, and I cannot keep going for another night with no sleep and then having to drive 4.5 hours back home again in the morning. So what I think I'm going to do is just fish with 1 rod throughout the night onto the spot that's been doing all the bites today, and hopefully that doesn't get too hectic, and if it does, if I just can't get through them or get a bit of a break, then I think I will probably reel in and set my alarm for like 5 in the morning, get the rods out dead early for a few hours before we have to be off at 11. So yeah, this is just a little mirror I just thought I'd show you. This is part of the 2. The second one came off while I was playing the first one. I just loosened the clutch and let it run because I couldn't do anything about it. So if they were a better stamp of size fish than what I've been having all day, then I probably would have considered fishing through it. But I really need to sleep. So we're going to slip this one back, get 1 rod set up, bang on the money, and then see if we can sit it out for a bigger fish. And if we keep getting played with the little ones, like I say, then we'll crack on in the morning. So I'll either catch you with a fish in a little while or in the morning. Alright, so I know a minute ago I said that I probably wouldn't talk to you till the morning, but I've had the biggest one of the session so far for me, just under 19 pound high 18s. As I say, I'm just fishing 1 rod now to the middle spot, just doing all the bites during the day, and yeah, finally got one that's slightly bigger. Still definitely not going to challenge for the win, but heading in the right direction. Hopefully that means there's a few bigger fish out there in front of me this evening. There we go, if it behaves. It plodded around in the water in front of me for ages. There we go. Nicer size. Bit of a gammy mouth sadly, but we'll treat that up before we put it back. See if that helps. Some quite nice scales on the back of this one. Around its tail. Again caught in a little yellow 12mm pop-up in a solid bag. There we go. Lovely. I was then starting to tie up a few rigs, so I had a few spare for that 1 rod. Now I'm going to have to use one of them, but we don't mind that. So we'll slip this one back and get the rod back out there and see if we can get some sleep. Right, so good morning. I reeled in last night. Like I said, it's just getting a bit too much. I had 3 bites in such a short space of time. I need to get some kit, but I set my alarm for 5 o'clock this morning. I flicked out a solid bag and that went straight away with a catfish, probably mid-20s, and got the rods back out again and we're away, which is a nice little carp by the looks of things. Not a big one, but they're clearly still out there on the spots. So we'll see if we can get this one in, and then we'll show you it once we've got it in. There we go. Little one for you in the morning. Got a few hours now until we've got to be off, so I say it's probably only about 6. I've only been up an hour and I've had a catfish and a carp and had my rods wiped out and all sorts. It's pretty chaotic here. So just lift it up this side. There we go. Won't keep it out too long. Get it back fairly sharpish. And see if we can get the rods back out and see if we can nick a couple of bigger ones before we have to get off. Alright, so here we go, carp number 20. We're hitting the nice round figure there. And it's a rare common for me. It's only been 2 commons I think out of the 20 fish, 20 carp now, so nice to have a little common, but still the big ones are eluding me at the moment, but keep battling through them and hopefully we'll get amongst some of the bigger ones soon. So slip this one back. I've already got the spare rod set up and it's already clipped out to the spot, so just rotating that rod now between the other rods, so that I've always got one ready to go and I've got a fish, rather than trying to get all 3 rods out. So right, so I'll slip this one back and I'll chat to you in a bit. Alright, so fish number 21. This one's different stocking by the looks of things, and a much nicer looking fish compared to a lot of the ones I've caught. Not that there's anything really wrong with the other ones, but this is just a much nicer fish in my opinion, if it behaves itself. They've all been like this on the mat, absolutely lunatics. There we go. How about that one? Lovely looking little fish. Imagine this one in another 4 or 5 years time, it's going to be a beast. Got a few hours still to go. It seems to be slowing up a little bit from first light, but still plenty of fish about. A few other people are having them around the lake as well, so wouldn't mind one of these, but £20 bigger. Right, I'll slip that one back and I'll catch you with the next one. Alright, so I'll just quickly show you the chaos behind me and explain my swims a little bit. I was then sorting my stuff out, and the island rod that I just put back ripped away. I was just getting that out and I realised my camera didn't have its memory card in, it is all full, so I had to swap that over. So I just put it in a sling for a second, and while I was doing that, the middle rod ripped away again. So I've got a nice common and a mirror in the nets behind me. So I thought I'd just explain the swims and spots I've been having, so I realised I haven't done that yet. So if I spin you around, you can see we've got a net there with a nice common in it. Where is it? There we go. And then we've got a nice sling there as well with another one in ready to go, just while I sort the camera out. And then, so this is my view from my swim. As you can see in front of me, I've got an island, and the right hand rod I've been fishing into, there's a little cutout on that island. I've been fishing to there, but the main spot I've been having it from is in open water at about 9.5 wraps. There's a tree in the distance and I've just been fishing to that, and that's where nearly all the bites have came from that spot over the last 2 days. It's been really prolific. They've been out there in big numbers in front of me. And then the third spot is down in this margin edge. There's a slightly bushier tree on the bank, and I've been fishing dead tight to that, and that's where I've had a couple from as well, and a couple of cats have come from there as well. So that's it. Yeah, I thought I'd just give you a quick swim guide, and I'll get this fish out and we'll show you them now. Alright, so here we go. This is the first one of that double take there. Nice little brace, the smaller of the two. The other one's a nice little common that sat in the net. So yeah, nice little one. Fish number 21 or 22, something like that. Can't quite remember which one we're up to now. But yeah, it's going well. I'm not sure how many more I'm going to get. I'm going to have to start getting the rods in now and packing up completely. So this may well be the last one after this common. I'll slip this one back, get the common out, and then I'll talk to you after that. Alright, so here we go, the second part of that brace, a nice £15 common. This one felt a lot bigger when I was playing it. It stayed low, wouldn't come up, and for a while I thought I had one of the better ones on, but it wasn't to be. But you can't complain at this session. I've had really 20 something odd fish now. I need to get back and count, I've forgotten, plus 5 cats. So yeah, it's been a really good one. So I'll just spin this one around, show you the other side quickly. But it's been really good, my first time here at Coking Farm. It's been a great social with all the boys. I haven't really gone into too much detail about it all really throughout this video. It's been a bit mixed match for various reasons, but I'll explain to you a bit more at the end, just as I'm packing away, if we don't have any more fish, about what's been going on and why I'm here. But there we go, lovely common. Probably a nice way to end the session, although I've still got a rod out to the margin, but it's looked really quiet down there, so I'm not expecting that to go. So yeah, I'm going to slip this one back, start packing my gear down. We might have one more, if not I'll talk to you just before we leave. Alright, so I'm all packed up now. It's the end of the match. We're now about to go around to the other side and find out who won. It's definitely not me, because my biggest was only about £18, something like that. So I'm way off the mark on that one, but I think I've probably got the most amount of fish, but it doesn't really matter. It's between me and Joe from Nothing But Fishing for the most, I think. So yeah, it's been a really fun session. It's my first time at the YouTube Vloggers Social. I was lucky enough to get invited along by the fishing bloggers, and I really appreciate it. So thanks to everyone that's helped organise it and to invite me. I've loved it. It's been great fun meeting all the other guys from all the other channels, just chatting rubbish and doing some good fishing really. Everyone's caught. I've ended up with 22 carp and 5 cats, so absolute chaos for most of the session. I've tied over 50 PVA solid bags because I've gone through 2 old ESP packs, so I know that much. So much bait from NutriBaits, all the ground bait and the boilies that I went through earlier with you. They were absolutely destroying it. They couldn't get enough of it. So yeah, it's been really good fun. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is the start of them coming out a lot more regularly again. Things have settled down a bit, and I'm going to be getting out on the bank a lot more again, filming a lot more. I did film all over winter, which you will never see sadly, because it didn't turn out the way I planned and didn't end up with the right fish that I wanted for what I was trying to do. So hopefully plenty more travelling around to different lakes vlog coming up in the near future. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Check out the links down below to all the other channels of all the other guys that were here on the social with us. And once again, thanks to everyone for organising it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully the next one's a bit more organised and less chaotic, and I'll catch you in the next one.